Alright guys, so, this is going to be my review of All New X-Men Out of Their Depth, which is pretty much the last volume I have of All New X-Men, and I'll be reading it to you. So, yeah, this, I think I'm just going to stop with All New X-Men at this point because, I don't know, maybe I'll try the new All New X-Men comics that are coming out from All Different Marvel, but really, I'm done trying to pick up the Bendis stuff because, honestly, oh god, I seriously wanted to stop the book. And it's not because, and there is some good moments. I'm not saying this is a bad book, I've read a lot worse, but there's just, a lot of it stems from the treatment of Jean Grey in the original 5 X-Men. Not Scott, because there's some a lot of the cool stuff comes from Scott Summers, really. But everything else is just like, I fucking hate this. So, this comic pretty much starts out with young Warren leaving the X-Men to join Cyclops' team. He does come back, so I'm told. And from there, the X-Men pretty much are like, yeah, let's just fight each other for no other reason, even though it was his choice. And, yeah, the whole crux of this issue, and probably the whole comic, is not only, oh, you need to go back now, and trust me, that's thrown in your face fucking constantly. It's not only that, but what Jean Grey consistently does, and no one stops her. Except one person in particular. And that person is Emma Frost and the Stepford Cuckoos. What they do is when Jean starts reaching into people's minds again, what happens is that Emma and the Cuckoos, they put a mental beat down on her ass after constantly reaching into people's minds, and she constantly does this, even after Kitty literally says, look, stop doing this, or I swear, I know you guys want to help, but Jean, you have got to stop reaching into people's minds because you're hurting people more than you are helping. Fucking stop, or so help me God, I will personally see to it that you are sent back home. You and the rest of the X-Men will be sent back home. Do I make myself fucking clear? So that's the story right now, and yeah, that's the thing, is that when Jean is, doing the whole reaching into people's mind thing, she's constantly told, Jean, don't do that, Jean, don't do that. Guess what she does? She keeps fucking doing it, even though no one fucking stops her. It's constantly like, Jean, we told you not to reach into people's minds, we'll get punished for that. Oh, but maybe next time. Jean, oh no, you did it again, Jean? What's wrong with you, Jean? We should have sent you back. Oh, fucking God. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, thank you for making me hate Jean Grey, because she thinks she's totally in the right here, because she feels like, yeah, this is, these are my powers, and I feel obligated to use them. Jean, there's such a thing as control, alright? You lack that control, okay? Stop it. Stop it. And I don't know if she eventually does stop in the comics, but yeah, this was bullshit of how she just blatantly kept ignoring, everyone telling her, Jean, that's, their thoughts are, a person's thoughts are their most private. Even the future self knew when to read minds and when not to. This is not cool, Jean, this is not cool. Yeah, so I was kinda left going, fucking really, this whole time. Fucking really. How... God damn it. If you like All New X-Men, that's totally fine. Me, personally, I just got really irritated. The first 2 volumes are good, but it just kind of... it slowly goes down into becoming the same 2 issues over and over again. And I don't know if that's the whole crux of the comic. I know that's like the big thing of Battle for the Atom that made it so boring, was because it was pretty much everyone going, oh, we should send the X-Men back. Maybe we shouldn't. Maybe we shouldn't. Maybe we should. Anyway, now on to some good. Let's talk about some good in this comic. The good in here is actually a lot of, like I said, stuff from Scott Summers. And, yeah, there's some great moments between him finding Alex again, because you have to understand, at this point, he didn't know that him and Alex were separated. Well, he knew they were separated, but he didn't think he would ever see his brother again. And keep in mind, this is young Cyclops meeting his younger brother, who's now the leader of the Uncanny Avengers. And yeah, there's some great moments between him and Havoc. There's like, yeah, they have a high five, they hug it out, and I'm like, oh, I'm so happy. That's some of the best stuff in here, is the private little moments, especially with Scott. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. But yeah, also, you know how... this is the other thing I want to bring up with shapeshifters, and the stupidity of the Avengers, as well as everyone in this matter. So, if you guys remember in Volume 2, Mystique brought together... she basically brought together... who was it, again? Sabretooth and Lady Mastermind, right? She brought them together, okay? To get a lot of money, and she tells them it's just to be, you know, to get rich. It's one big get rich quick scheme, and we're all going to be stupid rich by the end of it. This sounds cool, right? Well, it turns out that she had been getting all this money for one sole purpose: to buy Madripoor from Madame Hydra, who, yeah, she's like, look, we don't necessarily control Madripoor. That's not our department. We control it, but we don't own it. And she's like, I don't care. I want to buy Madripoor. And I think if I remember my Marvel right, I think she does eventually get control of Madripoor in some capacity. I do believe she gets control of Madripoor in some capacity. But the whole thing of how they do it is more or less Madame Mastermind, Lady Mastermind, projects all these images of the X-Men going out and robbing places, and the Avengers are called in to go, no, you need to stop that, no! This isn't right. Even though we know the X-Men and Wolverine's an Avenger who wouldn't need to do fucking this. This is what I don't like about shapeshifters. You clearly know that these people are acting weird, and yet you're just under the assumption this is not right. And one of the X-Men's main villain is a fucking shapeshifter. How about instead of going, oh, it's obviously the X-Men's fault, how about going, it must be one of the X-Men's villains' fault? Nope, we just skip right ahead to, fuck it. Oh my god. Does anyone not know how to do shapeshifters right? Like, yeah, this is the same problem I have with the Chameleon in Spider-Man. When, people should automatically go, hey, that guy's not acting right. That's not how that person how that person thinks and acts. It's not right at all. And that should be the same thing with Captain America, who's like, you X-Men are in a lot of trouble because you guys must be robbing banks. And I'm like, dude, do you know Logan? He's on the Avengers as well, and you've known him for years. You've known all of the X-Men for years. Why, in God's green earth, where you just instantly assume, rather than say it's probably one of the X-Men's villains setting him up, you just go, you just skip ahead to, I don't get it, guys. I really don't. Yeah. Also, yeah, of course, Jean freaks out when she sees Scarlet Witch. And yeah, it's not because you're now an Avenger. She purposely reaches into Scarlet Witch's mind and sees all the stuff she's going to commit. Or rather committed at this point in time. All the of course, after what happened in House of M and all that. So yeah, we had to go through that shit. Oh. And then we come to the final issue, the little standalone issue, after everything is said and done with Mystique and all that, and the not Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. That being the now relationship, I don't even know if it is still a relationship between the two? But yeah, young Hank and Jean Grey. Apparently, yeah, they're now a thing, which, for whatever reason, because I remember clearly in the comics, in the classic Stan Lee comics, that was never a thing. Beast was never really interested in her. If anything, I'd have believed it more and bought it more if it was Warren, if it was younger Warren, because if you remember your X-Men comics, Warren and Scott competed, in the early days of X-Men, competed over Jean Grey's affection. So if it was young Warren doing this, I'd have been like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But yeah, Beast? Really? He had no interest in her. He just saw her as a friend. And she learns this by, what else? reaching into Future Beast's mind and finding all this out. Whatever. Look, if you like All New X-Men, that's totally fine. And again, there are some good moments in here. But, yeah, the dialogue feels really forced. Especially, there's a moment in here where Kitty Pryde goes, when she's talking about the moment where, in Uncanny Avengers, where Havoc is talking about, oh, mutant is a derogatory, you know, we shouldn't be using that. And she goes, no, there's pride in being a mutant. And to which I say, okay, Kitty, you're sounding exactly like Future Scott right now. Do you not hear the hypocrisy in your fucking voice right now? Oh, Jesus. Yeah, it's also weird that her and Bobby were making out. Future Bobby, mind you. Future Bobby, I should state. And, yeah, even present Bobby's like that. And plus, you know, it doesn't really matter because now she's hooked up with Star-Lord for however long until, you know, the comics deem their relationship end, and then we start something else. I just don't care about superhero relationships because they don't fucking last! For whatever fucking reason. Ugh. I'm sorry, guys. I don't mean to rant and rave about all this, and if you enjoy All New X-Men, that's totally fine. No ill will against you. Yeah, after this, I was like, man, I just don't want to collect this anymore. And, yeah, as much as a big X-Men guy I've become, this is not what I want to read. You know, and making me hate the original 5 X-Men. You know, whatever. But, anyway, you guys tell me, what did you guys think of the 3rd volume of All New X-Men? Did you guys like it? Did you guys hate it? Just comment below, let me know. And, yeah, again, if you enjoyed this comic, that's totally fine. But yeah, there are just moments in here where I just felt, I just need to get through this and be done with it. I will admit the artwork by Stuart Einemann is really good. You know, you can't go wrong with Einemann, but still. And again, there is some cool stuff, mainly from Cyclops. In fact, all the really good stuff comes from Cyclops, from young Cyclops in this series. Anyway. So, once again, you guys just comment below, let me know, and once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.